Hi STAIR students, my name is Miss Asher and this is lesson 11, the last lesson in Unit 2. So for today's lesson, we're going to be doing something that's actually pretty different than what we've been doing. Instead of writing a big long paragraph, today we're going to be writing a pretty short poem. So you may be surprised to know that not all poems have to rhyme. In fact, some poems don't rhyme and they don't have any rhythm. They're just words that are arranged in a creative way that are about the same topic. So for today's poem, we're writing an acrostic poem, which as you'll see in the example in this page, which is lesson 11 of Unit 2 in your writing journal, an acrostic poem is where you write a word, usually a noun. In this case, the noun will be your name. So you write your name vertically, that's from top to bottom, and then you're going to write on each line a word that starts with that letter of your name that describes you. So you're going to describe yourself using words that match the letters of your name. So I'll show you what an acrostic poem looks like from my own example in a minute. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and model the brainstorming process. So before you even start writing out your name and thinking of those words, it might be helpful to brainstorm what are some characteristics about yourself, some things, some words or phrases that you think of when you think of yourself. So for me, one thing that I always say is I'm creative because I like to make art and I like to do creative things. So I would say I'm creative. I'm friendly, I'm kind, I love to learn, I love my cats, I love my family, I like to be outside, I'm active, I'm smart, I like to explore, I'm an explorer. So those are all some good adjectives or phrases that describe me. So can you think of some good either words or phrases that would describe you? And once you've done that, once you've thought of maybe 10 or 15 or however many words you can come up with, you want to start circling the words that start with the same letter of letters in your name. So I'll go ahead and show you mine so you can get an idea of what that will look like. But yeah, what you want to do is you're going to start trying to find those words that match the letters of your name, because you're going to have one word for each letter of your name. So I'll go ahead and read you my poem, and then we'll talk a little bit more about how to make sure that you have all the spaces filled in for yours. So my name is Miss Asher, so I did Asher, that's A-S-H-E-R. So I had an easy one because I only had 5 letters. Some of you might have 10 letters in your name, and then it might take you a little longer, but I know that you guys are smart and you can definitely still do it. So for A, I needed an A adjective. An adjective, that's a describing word that started with the same letter as the first letter of my name. So I could have chose, let's think of some A words that are adjectives. We could have said awesome, we could have said artistic, we could have said, what are some other, athletic? I wouldn't say that I'm athletic. You could have said active, I would say I'm active. We could have said, I wouldn't describe myself as angry, but that's an adjective. You could say angry, but I hope that you guys aren't angry. But hopefully you can find some good A words if you have an A in your name. The next letter that I had in my name is an S, so Asher. So for that S, I needed an adjective or a phrase that started with S for that line of my poem. So I chose smart, but maybe you could say sporty or special or what are some other ones? Gosh, I can't think of, if I'm smart, I should be able to think of more than 2 S words. Let's see, super or scared easily. Maybe you get spooked easily and that could be your phrase. But so now I've got artistic and smart, and now I need an H word to describe myself for the third line of my acrostic poem. I put helpful because I like to help people, and if somebody asks me to help, I'm excited to help them and to lend a hand. Let's think of some other H words. Happy, maybe, I'm thinking of heart, but I guess that's a noun. We could say happy, healthy. Let's think of one more. Happy, healthy. You could maybe write, if you wanted to do a phrase, you could write horses are my favorite. That would be if you wanted to put a full phrase for that one. So let's move on to the second to last letter. So the next letter in my name is E. So we need to find a phrase or a word that matches an E. So you could have said that you're easygoing, or that you're educated, or that you're easily impressed or excitable. I chose to go with eager to learn because I like to learn, and that's why I'm in school, in college. So I wrote eager to learn as my phrase for E. Remember, these can be words or phrases. And then R, this one is a little harder if you think about adjectives that start with R. What are some R adjectives? You could say you're respectful. You could say maybe you are, ready to learn, or you're really happy, or you could think of something like that. But I decided to put really loves cats, because I really do. I love my cats. I talk about them all the time. They're in a lot of my videos. So I thought that those were all characteristics that describe me. So now I'll read it to you one more time. And remember that I chose, for each letter of my name, I chose an adjective or a phrase that started with that same letter, so that in the end I have a poem that's as many lines long as my name is, and it describes me. So, Asher, artistic, smart, helpful, eager to learn, really loves cats. And so that is my acrostic poem. When you're writing your own acrostic poem, make sure that you include one word or phrase that starts with the same letter of each letter of your name. And make sure that when you're brainstorming, you're thinking about adjectives. Those are descriptive words, or you can think about whole sentences that describe something that you like to do, or something that describes you. But you want to make sure that each of those adjectives starts with the same letter as the first, or as that letter of your name. So I hope that you guys enjoy this activity. I think it'll probably be a fun one, and probably a pretty quick one, because we're not having to write out a full paragraph. So yeah, once you do this, you will have written a whole poem by yourself. That's an acrostic poem, which again, we're writing our names vertically and then finding one word or phrase that starts with the same letter as that letter of our name. So I hope you guys enjoy this activity. Again, this was the last activity for lesson 2. So once you completed this activity, if you did them all in order, you will have completed all of Unit 2 in your writing journal. So congratulations, you can give yourself a pat on the back. And I hope you enjoy writing your poems. This is a good sort of thing to put on your fridge, or maybe put in a frame if you want to practice your neat handwriting and make a nice copy with maybe some colored markers or crayons to give it a little bit of artistic flair. Maybe if you have an A in your name, you can use artistic if you did that, because it certainly would be an artistic thing to do. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this activity, and thank you so much for joining me for all of Unit 2. And I hope to see you guys again for future lessons. We've got Unit 3 and 4 that I will be teaching as well. So I hope to see you for those. And bye, STAIR students.